Okay, making our way around wetland number 3, and already have found plenty of signs of moose tracks. I think that's what these are. Maybe deer, some walking through the mud, and moose leavings. So we do seem to be tracking some moose that came through at least at some point. The scat doesn't look too old, but how old exactly is indeterminate. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick to the tree line and walk my way around, see if I can locate the meadow on the other side. But this being a bog, that could be, that's going to be to be determined. Although, as you can see, this thing is fairly big, and I'm going to make a way around it looking for... I can't believe you wouldn't find big monkey tracks in this. Just for the sake of comparison, let's see what I'm doing. Indents anyway. So, I'm so glad I have boots on that are waterproof. My feet would be soaked right now. And it's muggy enough without the help. Looks like it gets a lot scrubbier over there. I tend to put out an invite to an event on Facebook when I do these things. I'm wondering if people seeing me walk through swampy goodness like this is why I get a lot of the 11th hour cancellation. Might explain a thing or two. I don't know if that sounds as funny to others as it does to me. Alright, let's come out over here and see if we can find that meadow. I think it's on the opposite corner, though. Not seeing any clear indicators. This was obvious through the trees. The meadow may elude me, which is okay, I guess, but I'm reluctant to get too far out into this for concern of getting stuck literally in the mud. This whole thing looks to be basically that bog, muddy bog, and nice view though. We have company. We're going to move back, I think. Right there. The fuck are you? Woo! I'm gonna move away. I don't know really what that is, but it's not moving away, so I will. We're a little too far out for... This got swampy quick. Damn it. Damn it. We're going to fall back, I think. Because, one, I don't know what that was, and number two, it didn't seem concerned. So, we're going to give it some space. And get some stuff between us and it before determining if it's actually following us, because I don't know if it is. Okay, we're at the beginning of wetland number 4, and to recap what happened at 3, I kind of left the area. I think, I had an encounter with something. I briefly glimpsed it along the side of the tree line. It was dark colored and sizable. My concern being, I called at it several times. It did not retreat. It looked like it was possibly an overly curious bear. So I opted for the side of caution. I pulled my bear mace, which I think is the first time I've ever done that on camera. It doesn't seem to have followed me. I've been listening and stopping every now and then. So I'm going to resume. But I am going to keep the bear mace handy at this point. The fact that it didn't retreat, as most bears I previously encountered have, caused me some concern. So I left, and most of my retreat, I believe, is on camera. So we'll see how that turned out. I don't know how much of what actually happened was on camera. I'm assuming it was a bear. It could have been something else. I don't know. I'm not going to read too much into it. I just opted on the side of caution. It was enough concern for me that I pulled bear mace and decided it was time to go. So we're going to go towards what's behind me is wetland number 4. And we're going to carry on. Its timestamp is now moving on 11:30. Actually, I think it's closer to 11:45. But either way, we're going to start in here and get our nerve back a little bit. It's been an interesting day so far. Lots of moose sign and likely a run-in with a bear. So, stay tuned. Okay, we are on our way to what I think is wetlands number 3. We're parallel to number 4. I'm just curious if we cross this meadow right here, and we're going to head over the hill. It looks like it opens up over there, and that, I think, keyword think, is wetland number 5, which is the rest of our game plan. I would have liked to have spent more time at number 3, but, well, you saw what happened there, so I may go back at a later time looking for tracks of whatever the hell that was, but, at the moment, I felt safety was more relevant. So, yeah. I'm not actually going to go too far over the hill. Based on the map, it's either going to go to where those trees look like they open up, and it will be there. Otherwise, I'll try to work over towards number 4, because this is starting to look deceptive. Unless it's over here. The water does actually flow that way. So, minor change in plans. Will you hang out? Let me see what we got here. Sign of beaver activity. No shortage of that, so this is probably a beaver pond. Or a big chunk of a widening of a stream anyway. Let's have a better look. I get out to an open spot and God forbid get a good look. No joy, something's digging around here. So, trying to put a mental something on the nature of the air, but getting your feet really wet, I'm going to need another way over there. So, see if I can get down to the water line closer, but I'm not. Kind of bored with going through the maze of the small stuff. So we're going to get a good look at this. And rather than have prime conditions for tracking in here, you have this, which is hardly perfect. So it is what it is. if you had something big going through, you would have an obvious moose trail. I think I have an example or two of those. It would almost look like this, but it wouldn't have a stream in there. It'd just be like a big thing, like a moose went through there. If a squatch had come through, you would have probably had the same thing, where it had pushed things aside. I mean, you'll have things flattened out if you have like bedding down in here. There probably is an area or two where you have things bedding down. But I'm going to shut up for a minute. It's all the same, and we're going to take a brief break. We're heading back from 5 to the meadow that parallels 4, and going to begin our way back. Leads back to number 1. I don't know how far I'll ingress there again, but on the way back, but I do want to see if I hear anything. Even in the late spring, it lurks in the corners. Okay. Now, to navigate back and to jump that stream again. Damn it. Another little lesson of the meadow. Just because it looks like it's even ground doesn't mean it is. You wonder why I'm not going straight across, because I have to find the spot where I jumped the stream before. Here we go. Now, if you actually did have a track in here, it would go good, but no such luck. Just fake dents in the dirt. Okay, we're going to wrap up the events of the day. To be blunt, we saw something. The foot and a little bit of the leg of some large black hairy thing. Possibly a bear, but not enough to know what exactly it was, but it was acting funny and we did in fact retreat from it. So I have some video to go through and try to discern what it was. Excuse me. And hopefully the camera got it with a decent indication of what it is. We'll know that after we've made this video and compile it all. So that's going to be it for today. We thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy the resulting video. Thanks.